some more.
Yo, what's good people, Izzy Max here, back again with another tier list video. In today's video and the videos coming up after this, I will be going through the typings. For the first one, we are starting with electric. And for some of them, it's going to be a little bit different because you're going to see at the bottom that I'm not going to be ranking all the mons, just the fully evolved ones. So without further ado, if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like and don't forget to sub. We are almost at 100 subs. And currently my analytics say that 50% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you could please do so, that'd be a huge help, as we are on the grind for 100, and I am uploading almost every day. I'm just not uploading on Friday and Sundays. So without further ado, let's get started, and we're going to start with Pikachu. I will be ranking these guys competitively. That'll pretty much be the going forward. So Pikachu competitively, not great, although with its Gigantamax form, it is a little better, and it can actually be used. So I am going to put it in the B tier, with the ability to paralyze even ground types, and the move being incredibly strong. Pikachu is actually viably used in VGC, and it does get a lot of coverage like Surf. Lightning Rod is its ability, and things like Grass Knot. Next up is going to be Raichu. I am going to put Raichu in the same tier as Pikachu because it kind of functions as kind of different than Pikachu. With Raichu, you're running more support. You get Brick Break, Nuzzle, Screens, using its Lightning Rod actually as an ability instead of just attack on like Pikachu. And it can just do a bunch of different things. You're not really using it for offensive power. Electrode. Probably a D tier. It's never really good. It's super fast, but it doesn't hit incredibly hard. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Electrode. Regieleki, we don't know yet. I'm hoping it's going to be super good, but like I said, we know nothing about it. Togepi. I kind of want to put it here in the B tier with Pikachu. It kind of functions the same as Raichu, mixed with some offensive aspects of Pikachu. Zing Zap, Iron Head, also gets Spiky Shield, Nuzzle, Helping Hand, Sturdy as an ability, Lightning Rod as an ability. It's just overall a really decent support mon, and it has seen a lot of use in VGC in prior years, not so much right now in 2020, although it has popped up every now and again. Poor old Jolteon. I'm gonna have to put it in the C tier. The loss of hidden powers kind of really hurt Jolteon because it honestly only gets electric coverage. Of course, it does get like Shadow Ball and Pin Missile, but it's not really using those at all. So yeah, it's just fast. It can hit relatively hard, but if you have a good ground type, it's just not doing anything. Zapdos, I'm putting in the A tier. It is usually really good when it is allowed in the meta. Access to things like Heat Wave. It'll probably get Hurricane now, but then you can use like Volt Switches, Tailwinds, Super Bulky. Just overall, super kind of a pain to deal with because it is super bulky. Not weak to ground, only weak to rock and ice, I do believe. And just overall, really bulky mon, decent support mon. Lantern, as much as I hate to say it, it's never really good. It does get two decent abilities in Water Absorb and Volt Absorb, but they're not ever used. You're not going to fire electric or water type moves into Lantern anyway, and there's no redirection. Bolton, I'm holding out hope. It does now have competitive. Also, it has access to Strong Jaw. So if it does start popping off, you don't really know what kind of set it is until it's too late. You don't know if it's physical. You don't know if it's special. You don't know if you should intimidate it or if you shouldn't. So I'm holding out hope that it could be decent. Next up is Raikou. Whoop, that's not Raikou. Raikou. I'm gonna put it down here in the C tier. Usually when Raiku's allowed, other legendaries are allowed as well, and it just kind of gets overshadowed by things like things like Zapdos, and I think that's really the only one that even matters. You don't really want multiple electric types on the same team, so Raikou just, like I said, kind of gets outshadowed. Plusle and Minun, I'm gonna grab the other one. They're just D tier. They suck. They're cute, but don't use them. Luxray. If I were making this tier list about a week ago, I would put Luxray probably at the D tier. But I have been seeing teams with Luxray actually pop up, and it's actually super threatening. Where a lot of physical electric types kind of get shafted is there's not really a good electric type move. They have to settle for Wild Charge. I know some of them get Zing Zap, but it's honestly not a lot. And then the other only good physical electric type moves are signature moves. You have Volt Tackle from Pikachu, whatever the move is for Zekrom, I don't remember. But if Luxray can be good, more power to it. I hope it is. Next up, we have Pachirisu. This thing did, of course, win a world championship in the hands of Sajin, but I don't know how good it would be now. It is a redirector, only weak to ground, but I think it would get eaten up by Dynamax Pokemon. Not gonna lie. Next up is Magnezone. I'm gonna put Magnezone in the A tier, but currently it's not that good. I don't know if we just haven't discovered how it should work in a Dynamax meta or what, but currently it's, like I said, not good at all. It hits super hard. It can trap other steel types in, kind of like Arena Trap for steel types. So it can be really good that way. Losing Hidden Power is kind of hurt it as well, because it can't run Hidden Power Fire for like Ferrothorn and stuff. But on the right team, I think it could be really, really good. Electivire, it's going in the D tier. This thing suffers from the same problem that Luxray has, that it's a physical electric type without any really good physical moves. It has to run Wild Charge or Thunder Punch. And Motor Drive, as good as it is, I don't think it's not as good as Lightning Rod. And if you have an electric type mon that needs to be a redirector for electric moves, you need it to have Lightning Rod and not Motor Drive. Next up are the Rotoms. I'm going to talk about them all as a group, but I'm going to put the ones that deserve to be up here. You go here, you go here, and you go down here. Okay, the first three Rotoms, Wash, Heat, and Mow, are usually always used in VGC at some point. They are super bulky, can hit really hard, and have multiple moves to either set up or support in like Will-O-Wisp and now Nasty Plot. And if you need any type of type coverage, you can usually always count on a Rotom to be thrown on a team and be used, and it do its job relatively well. The ones I put towards the bottom, Rotom Frost, it kind of needs to be on a Hail team. Regular Rotom, it's just really frail. I think it is faster. And then Rotom Fan has Levitate, but it's a flying type. It's the most useless one. The only niche that Rotom has is it doesn't get affected by Mold Breaker Excadrill, and that's about it. Zebstrika probably goes down in the F tier as well. Again, it's a physical electric type Pokemon that just doesn't get what it needs to. Emolga, I don't like Emolga. I'm not even going to talk about it. Electros, I think Electros could be good. It doesn't have a weakness, unless, of course, there's Mold Breaker or something like that. It is a levitating electric type, and it does get a good bit of coverage. Not really for sure what it gets as far as support moves, but I feel like it could be good if it's built around correctly. You are not an electric type anymore, but you are, and you're still bad. Stunfisk sucks. I am putting these guys up here. These guys are the reason that Thunder Wave is no longer 100%. What else? Swagger. What else has these guys done? These guys have actually changed the VGC metagame a lot. Not so much the, You can't even see it. Boop. Not so much the attacking one, but the special one just has changed the meta a lot. Like I said, with the Thunder Wave, with Swagger, there's a few other ones that other rules that are reworks that were changed because of this genie. Heliolisk, I feel like can go in the B tier. If built around correctly, it could be really good, and it fits in a couple of different synergies. It could be on a Sun team because of solar power. It could be on a team that needs an immunity to water because of dry skin. And overall, it just hits incredibly hard. Tapu Koko at S tier. With it now having physical fairy coverage, I feel like it could be even more versatile. But later in 2019, I believe, it was running things like Electro Web and other support moves like Skydrop. So it's just a super versatile mon and incredibly dangerous. Xurkitree's next. It goes in the A tier, although when it gets re-released into Sun and Moon, or Sword and Shield, without having Z moves, I feel like it's going to be really bad. Because it kind of wanted to set up with Z Hypnosis and get that speed boost, and then continue to either set up with Tail Glows or just start attacking. And it can't do that. And it's relatively slow. I think its speed stat's like 71. And it's not that bulky, so I feel like it's going to have problems doing what it needs to. Zeraora is never allowed in VGC, so I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm just going to leave it. Pincurchin, probably just a B tier mon. It's an electric terrain setter, so I can't put it really any lower than that. Right now it is being used in tandem with Alolan Raichu, which we will get to soon. And if you're using it in singles, it can set your hazards. It gets spikes and toxic spikes, I do believe. Decently bulky. It can actually hit relatively hard, but it is incredibly slow. Ampharos is never really good. Yeah, it's going down here. Not really going to talk about it. And now we have Arctozolt. Arctozolt right now is probably D tier. When it gets Slush Rush, I feel like it could skyrocket. But for now, I'm putting it in the D tier. Its ability, or its move now, Bolt Beak, wants it to be hitting first, and it really can't because its speed stat is not really slow enough to be ran optimally in Trick Room. But once it gets Slush Rush, I feel like it could jump probably to B or A. Dedenne, super bad. Don't use Dedenne. Dracozolt, however, I do believe is an A tier mon. With it being able to Dynamax, it does help with its ability. So if you don't know how Hustle works, you trade accuracy for power. But when you're Dynamaxed, all your moves don't miss anyway, and you still get the Hustle boost. So I do think Dracozolt is good, and when it gets Sand Rush, I do think it'll be, yeah, that's how you should say it. I think it'll be even better than it already is, because now you don't have to rely on Hustle missing, but you also don't have to run Scarf or anything, so you can probably just run Choice Band or Life Orb and be able to outspeed literally everything. Alolan Golem, I know it was used, but I don't know why or how. Manectric, C tier. With its Mega, I would put it in B tier. I don't know if Megas are coming back. I think they are. If I had to put money on it, I would say they are in the future. But, sorry. If you heard that, my cat is yelling at me. But, Manectric benefits from having two separate abilities if it has its Mega. They could either be supportive and kind of just a nuisance with Lightning Rod, or it could turn around and be supportive in the other way, as it has Intimidate and a higher special attack stat. And it is incredibly fast. Morpeko. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I think Morpeko is actually really good, being the first electric dark type that should have been Luxray. But Aura Wheel hits like a truck, even on a base, I think 92 attack stat. Hits really hard. And gets some decent support moves. It does get like Fake Tears. And then being able to change that move to dark type or electric type, you just have to be able to position yourself correctly, and it's really good. Next up is Oricorio. This is just budget Lapras. Like, this is the dollar store Lapras. Don't use it. Alolan Raichu, I'm actually going to put in the A tier. Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying Rising Voltage potentially is going to be extremely nutty busted when we get the Tapu Koko back. Right now, it's only going to be paired with Pincurchin, and even that is still doing really kind of well. So seeing how that's doing, and knowing that we're getting the Tapu Koko back, I'm afraid of Alolan Raichu. The Toxtricities, I'm also going to put in the A tier. They're actually starting to rise up in usage, which is incredibly nice. I love these Pokemon. Design-wise, they're great. Their ability is great in Punk Rock. And they also get an electric move that is able to take advantage of that ability. And overall, the only problem with them is they're just incredibly slow. Vikavolt, I'm going to put in the B tier. It's really slow, but it hits really, really hard. And it's not too bulky, so if you set it up and you're building around it for a Trick Room style team, it can be really, really useful. But outside of Trick Room, it really just doesn't do what you need it to. Zekrom, I'll put it here. Bolt Strike is its move. I just remembered what it was called. Zekrom's okay. You'll probably want to use Zapdos over it, and you're probably going to be having a different Dragon type anyway. But yeah, it's a legendary. You can't really put it any lower than that. And then lastly, because I'm not going to rank Zeraora just because you can't use it in VGC, so I couldn't rank it. But Galvantula, probably just a C tier mon. You're not setting sticky webs in VGC. It doesn't hit hard. Its special attack stats like 92. Of course, it can hit Thunders at a relatively high margin. I think it's like 92% accurate. But again, not a mon you'll use too much. So that's going to be my competitive analysis for electric types. If you enjoyed, like I said, please do leave a like, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.